morning, afternoon and evening my crazies, and my name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady and welcome back to yet another Throwback Friday. Right, so on today's episode I'm going to be showing you my very first charity haul, which was books. Okay, as you may have noticed recently, I have got a few and it's getting worse. But yeah, as I said, it is a charity haul and I was aided by one of my gorgeous neighbours who actually works in the charity shop, and she was just sorting out the shop because it was closed due to COVID. So she was sorting through the books, giving them a dust, came across some crochet ones and dropped them round to me. So here you go, have a nose at these ones, see what you think. Right, so today I am going to be going through the books that I picked up last week. Right, so I've done a bit of research and I've worked out which ones are done in the American terminology and which ones are done in English. And it happens I've got 3 of each, which is absolutely brilliant. It means that I can start working through the American ones because that's the terminology that I use, because that's how I learn. And I will think about what I'm saying next. Right, so as I said, the first set of 3 are American terminology. Now, I've done a little bit of research. You can still get some of them in the UK, and I assume because of that you'll be able to get them in America as well. And it is the same with the English ones as well. You can still get pretty much all of them. So I'm going to have to be really careful with what I show you. It will just be a case of a couple of images from each book. There won't be any pattern reveals on here because I can get done for that, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Help! Right, so I'm going to set up my other camera and I'll see you in a moment. Right, so here are our first 3 books. These ones were all published and released in the UK, so they have the UK terminology attached to them. Our first one is Simply Stylish Crochet by Melody Griffiths. Right, it states on the front, it's a fabulous collection of 24 fashionable and fun designs. Now, this one was printed in 2006, and some of the designs that are in there are very timeless, and I love this one. I'll show you this one in a moment, just the image. And it's got some really gorgeous choices in there. Then the second book I'm going to show you is The Knitting and Crochet, which is by Meryl Tilling. Now this one is from 1981. This is a first edition print actually, so I was quite chuffed when I realised that. You can still get this on a website I came across called Biblico. That's biblio.co.uk. Now you can get it in the UK on that site for £4.50, and then you can get it shipped in from a newsstand in Victoria in Australia for £8 something, shipped to the UK. So you'll probably find that's also listed in Australia a lot cheaper. So if you wanted a copy of this from Australia and you live in Australia, have a search, because there is at least one on the World Wide Web. Sorry, that just made me giggle when I came across that. And then our last one is the Cute and Easy Crocheted Baby Clothes, which has got the 35 projects for 0 to 3-year-olds, and that's by Nikki Trench. Right, so Nikki Trench does actually have a website and a little blog, but her last post on her blog was for 2018, in April 2018. Now she still has a load of books that's still available at Waterstones, WH Smith's, big bookshops in the UK. I'm not too sure about other countries, but I've got a feeling you can probably easily order these online still. Now I couldn't find this exact copy and I couldn't find this name on the websites, but I can still find it on eBay. Right, so let's get looking at this first one. I'll just move those over. Right, so as I said, this is Simply Stylish by Melanie Griffiths. Oh, there's a bonus. That was something else. Right, now she's got one pattern in here that I've been hunting for ages, and I'm so chuffed I found it. The only problem is it's written in English, so I'm going to have to translate it over to American, otherwise it'll go really skew. I'll just set up the page and I'll show you which one. Here it is. Isn't that gorgeous? That's made in a ginormous circle, and then I leave holes, bigger holes for my arms. That's the back, and then that's the front. So I think that is absolutely gorgeous. And of course, you know what I'm like for wearing vest tops and jeans and things, so that'll work. I think that'll look really nice on me. So that's my next me project, which will probably end up on the mannequin when I get bored with the one that's on there at the moment. Now the book's really self-explanatory. It goes into a decent amount of detail. You've got the written pattern and you've got charts. So if you work in either or, you'll be able to make up whatever pattern you like out of this book. Now here's a content sheet. I think I can get away with this one. So she's got a denim duffel coat. That's really cute. In a really cool little hat, motifs. She also talks her way through different yarn types, the different stitch symbols, your abbreviations. Shows you how to do some basic stitches that she'll use sort of further on in the projects. That's the jacket I want to do. That's going to be for me. I'll probably end up making it. It'll be too big and I'll offload it to my mum. And that's a really cute top there. I'm wondering, I'll have to find out what that yarn is. Now she does actually, they do state what yarn they make, what yarn they use for each project on this page as well, which is really good, because then it gives you the full write-up, so you can, if that yarn's not made anymore, you can hopefully find an equivalent. So those, got that cute one there, really funky hat, of course the jacket, and it's the pattern for the scarf, not the jumper, which is a bit of a shame. I quite like the look of that jumper. And we've got a cool retro waist jacket. Yeah, so again, there's some beautiful simple designs here, and some that look really, that's nice, it's all fluffy. Yeah, so there's some beautiful designs, some very classic designs as well in this one. So, oh, and my favourite. And one for the kit and one for the girls if you're going out for the night and you need something quick and simple. That looks like you could mock it up quite quick. Or if you're going out for a posh do, could have done with some of them when I used to go to the mess do's with my husband. Right, so yeah, that is that one. From what I've read through it briefly, and it looks really, really good. So as I said, I'll be coming back to that one at some point. Right, so with this knitting and crocheting, it is split into two sections. The first half is a massive chunk on how to knit. Now, when I first opened the page, you've got some Irish lace work there. Absolutely stunning, isn't it? And then we've got knitting, and it breaks down the abbreviations for the knitting and your needle sizes. Now you've got to remember, this is a nice old book, so the sizings may be slightly out. Now I thought that was really pretty, and I thought maybe I could do something with that, until I realised it's knitting. I don't know knitting, I have no understanding of knitting at all. So even though I'm looking at this now, this is looking mega foreign. Look, we've got two sticks. That's not right. It's a crochet hook. But as I said, yeah, it's got a nice chunk of information there if you're a knitter, or if you're a crocheter as well. So this is still on the knitting section. So I'll just scoot through there. Very strange way there of making corners. And they've got some really cool funky designs. To be honest, I've seen, I would quite happily make something like that, but maybe add a few more ribs in either side. But again, I believe this one is the knitted. Now of course, because this was sort of when crochet wasn't really big, was it, back when this one was published? So of course you've just got the standard doily type designs and a couple of granny square designs, and then of course they have actually got the how-to for the knitting for certain items, and we're still on the knitting, ha, crochet. So they've given us our breakdown of symbols. It talks about the sizes, shows you your basics, even shows you a few different stitches. So I think I might be using this one for a hat, although we pretty much all know this one anyway. And then chart work, which I'd already started doing without even realising that it was a technique. But it's got some really pretty little designs in here, and it talks you through them. They've even got the Tunisian, talking about Tunisian, which is really strange because I thought that was quite a new thing. See, shows how much I don't know about crochet, which is understandable really, considering I'm only been going 2 and a bit years. But yep, so there we've got all the extra informations there. So there you go, I've got to show you that one. Let's pop that away. So the last one is the Cute and Easy Crocheted Baby Clothes. Now I'm going to be flicking through this one as I did with the first one because it is still in publication. So I'm going to try not to show you anything major. You've got some multicoloured teddy there, and we've got the older blankets, different method things you can use blankets, a coat hanger decorated thing. Well, that reminds me of like the 80s when you used to get them silky puffy things and a pair of slippers off your gran for Christmas. I had a collection of about 30 of them coat hangers. Poor gran never knew what to buy me. Alright, so we've got some, I like the cute stuff there. It's a pretty little dress there. There we go. So that's cute, isn't it? Right, let's check the next thing. You've got a little cape. That's a bigger picture actually. Little jumper. Oh. Kitty's one of them. Oh, poncho, there we go. Read the page, Ange, read the page. Another poncho. There. That's cute. That is so cute. Little chunky jumper. Oops, sorry. Banging things about. And then a little blanket there. Pair of booties. That's pretty. And now I've seen that all over YouTube. So I know that pattern's available. I'll see if I can find it again, get you a link. And we've got the good old gloves. Buggy blanket. There, there's a stripy one. We've got some funky hats. Little baby bonnet. Some more little booties. Have you seen those? yeah, so this one's not too bad. It's got a very funky jacket there. God, if I'd have given that to my kids, they'd have eaten it. Well, at least the bits that are hanging off anyway. So there's some really pretty little designs in here. Yeah, and the patterns themselves are really easy and really easy to read as well. And look what was secretly tucked inside one of the books. It's the Payton's First Steps Crochet, and it's number 167. It was only 20p. Now, last time I saw a magazine that was in its 20p's, it was in the 80s, if that. Now, I did have a scoot through to find out what year it was. Just give me a second. And I found it on the back of the page. Now, it says here, as from the 1st of July 1969, European crochet hook manufacturers will be changing over to a new international standard range. Now, for a magazine to write that in must mean that this magazine, it was before 1969, which means it's definitely older than me, and it could be older than me mum, or at least my gran could have read it. For all I know, this could have been hers at one point. Now, I was looking through and I guessed it's a 1960s, and just you can sort of tell by the clothing that the models are wearing. So let's just scoot through. There we go. It's got some stitching and drawstring bags. Now, there was a couple of really cute bits actually in here. I love that. I've got a thing about oldie woldy hats at the moment. I really have. Crochet tie. I threatened to make my husband one. He told me he would burn it. My husband loves me. He says he loves me, but he's starting to get a bit annoyed with the crochet because I keep threatening to make him jumpers and underpants. And that's pretty. But it's definitely, you can see by the styles, this is definitely a 1960s magazine. You just have to imagine the colour. I think that's got like rainbows in it. Look at that. Little popcorn stitch by the looks of it dress. Some cute little jumpers. Even some graphs for teddy bears. Yeah, so it's really mad looking back at the differences of how the patterns that they were putting out then to what we're doing now, and then looking at them and going, well, actually we still use a variation of this one, that one and the other. It's really mad. I shouldn't say mad because it's not mad angry, it's mad crazy. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so that was my freebie. Right, so here is the American set. Now this is Annie's Crochet with Rapture Seasons. This was released in 2016. Now again, this has got some stunning patterns on it. I can show you a corner, I suppose. There we go. So I've got some sweet stuff. And then of course you've got information on how to do. We've got a bright pink one there. And then you've got a long one there as well. So I don't know if this is still in publication, but if you're interested, let me see if I can focus in. There is your barcode information. Now in the US it was $8.99 and in Canada it was $10.99. It's printed in USA by anniescrafts.com. I've got a feeling she's probably still got a website there where this may be available for you. Right, our next one up is the Crochet Sweater book with over 30 original designer patterns by Sylvia Kosh. Now it turns out Sylvia, of course, she's also English, but she like me, she likes to confuse everybody because her book is was published by the Crown Publishers Inc. in New York, and the terms that are used are American. There's our cheeky girl there. Right, so let's have a quick flick through. Right, so this book was first published in 1987. I haven't actually done a web search of any sort yet to find out whether it is still available to you. But as you can see, there is some super cool chunky knits. You can definitely tell these are 80s patterns, can't you? Now, does that not remind you? Sorry to say it, darling, but that reminds me of Cruella de Vil from 101 Dalmatians. We just need to change it to spots. But oh, that is cute in a weird way. Right. Okay, so then we've got, of course, you've got your instructions on how to do. It's got some cute little artwork there. She even got some men's tops. Some cute patterns here. Oops, let's get off this quick. Sort of how-tos. There we go. So although that's sort of 1980s, the kids are wearing stuff like this now. So my daughter's got a similar top. Okay, it's not crocheted, but she's got a similar top that looks just pretty much like that. So I might be able to get away with making her one of them and not telling her. And then when she wears it, I'll be like, that's retro. So there we go. Little lad's top there. Now that looks very much like the same stitch as that little lad was wearing, just in a different yarn. I'll have to read into it more before we like this and tell you more. Oh, and there's the jumper that I think looks like the one out of the Salt and Pepper videos. So of course, because some of this yarn that they've used won't be in circulation anymore. I haven't, as I said, I haven't read through this whole book yet, so I'm hoping that this book is like the other one where it actually tells you, the yarn. Yeah, so it's here, it's just telling you it's a sport, like your materials would be a sport weight. So that's pretty cool that they've not actually said, oh, you've got to use XYZ's brand of yarn. So that's good. Yeah. Oh, that's really good actually. It makes it less worrying that you're going to get it wrong. That looks so comfy and so squishy. Like that. But then I also like this because I'm quite simple. And I'd said to my husband that I'd make him that and he said to bog off. So, not only that, he's got a thing about putting jumpers in the tumble dryer, so it's bound to shrink. So yeah, this one's, again, this has got all the charts as they were back in the 80s. It'd be quite cool to check them and see if they're the same as the ones that we're using now. There we go. And as you've seen, the cheekiest one, which is the naughtiest words, means something different. This is Debbie Stoller's Stitch and Bitch Crochet the Happy Hooker. Now, I love it. For me, this made me giggle as soon as it came out, because of course that means something different in the UK. That we don't normally say, although the crochet group that I go to down at my local pub, when we're allowed back, is actually called a Stitch and Bitch group. And the bird that runs it's also called Debbie. I'm going to be messaging her later with a picture of this going, has she got something to tell me? Right, so here's your barcode with your details on. You never know, you might be able to take that into one of your local bookshops and they'll be able to search it out on the computers for you to see if they've got it in stock. Oh my, that is so cute. This is starting to make me want another baby, which is really horrible. I don't like babies. Not unless there's somebody else's, and then I can feed them loads of rubbish. They can vomit and I can send them home. Right, that's quite cute as well. Cheeky little monkey set. There's loads, absolutely tons in here. Cuddly toys, blankets. I'm literally going to scoot through. Yep, so we've done that bit. Chunky belt, cute top, more cute tops. I sent my husband a picture of this because he uses his skull and crossbones for his computer business, and I said I'd make him the jumper he could wear it to work. As you can guess what he said. Not my style, babe, but thanks for the offer. So yeah, so there's granny squares in here as well, which is good if you're after just a quick thing. She's also got different stitch pattern tutorials in there. And explaining lots of bits and pieces about how to do each of the individual stitches. And again, this one's written really quite well, but it did confuse me when I opened the page first off. And I jumped through the acknowledgements, as you do. Is it this? And that bit. Where is it? And I'll turn to that. And I'm thinking, hold on a minute. That's French, I think, I hope. It completely threw me. Absolutely threw me for a moment. But then, hey, it was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night and I was exhausted. Right, so there you go. They were the charity shop finds that my beautiful neighbour brought round for me. I hope you like them. I'm sorry I didn't go into more detail with patterns and things, but as I hope you understand, I don't want to muck around with copyright. It's just not worth the risk. So if I do make anything from them and I show you them, I'll be telling you, look, it's from this book, and hopefully we'll be able to find a stockist for some of the newer ones. Right, well, they weren't too bad, and I will admit I did fall in love with one of them from this book. Like, one pattern so far I've had a go at. Now the problem was, and this is written in English terms, so of course I'm having to translate it over to American terms so I understand it. And I started it a very long time ago, basically just after I'd finished recording that video, and I thought I was doing really well. Okay, now here is an image of the one that I was hoping to make. There we go. And I have got this Mandela section done. Okay, up to a certain point I've actually got it sitting here in this really gorgeous yarn, and it will work, and it's working up really well. Problem, it might be working up well, but it doesn't match the stitch count for the book at all, in any way, shape or form. It has just gone completely off topic, and that's not me, that's the pattern. I cannot get my head around it, and I cannot work out how I've managed to miss a chunk, because between this row and that I've stopped at and the next row I need to find another 6 or 7 repeats, and the repeats are that long, so it just doesn't work. And this is the second time I've actually found an issue with the pattern. The first time I managed to work it out quite easily. It was just a typo. They put a 3 instead of they put a 5 instead of a 3, so I'm thinking, I'm hoping they might have done it again this time, but it wound me up so much that I stepped back from it and I haven't stepped forward into it yet. So as it stands at the moment, this is all I have, a Mandela. So worst case scenario, I stick it on a hoop and shove it on the back of the wall. At least then I haven't wasted all them hours upon hours of crocheting it. Yeah, so that's all I've managed out of them books. But I thought I would show you because, hey, it made me giggle, so I'm hoping it's made you giggle too. Right, so next video up is Whips, Bits and Chat 12.5, a catch up. Now I did 12.5 as I know some people out there are a bit iffy around the number 13. So it's 12.5 and the next one's 14. Right, come on over, have a nose at this one, and I'll chat you through it a bit more when we get to the end. So, happy news for the week. Where to start? Right, okay, number one I think is I was watching through all of the furry videos, sitting there hoping that my winner got an extra ticket, which she did. And I was watching through Brown Owl's Crochet Fun because her video was only short and sharp, so I was like, right, I'm gonna let that one play. So I'm sitting there and she calls out a winner, and I was like, Brill for the winner, typing Brill for the winner into the computer as most of us did, and then she calls my name and I'm like, and she was like, this is my chosen fairy. So she's actually chosen to send me something as a thank you fairy prize, which is really, really shocking considering she's on the other side of the world. So when we were messaging, I was saying to her, you can get out of it, YouTube stitched you up, the comment picker stitched you up. I'm on the wrong side of the world, babe, it's going to cost a bomb. But she's decided she's still going to send me a little something, and it best be little Missy, otherwise I'll get grumpy. Right, but so I was like, I'm super chuffed. It would be really cool to see if there's sort of a mad crazy stamp or something on the envelope, but we'll just have to wait and see. Once that arrives, then I'll show you all as well, if she says I'm allowed to. Oh, and my reaction when my name was called, I looked like Kevin from the Home Alone films, something a bit like this. So I thought I'd share that bit with you as well. I'm also going to pop a link down to Brown Owl's YouTube page for one of her videos that came after the announcement. It's a beautiful story in there, absolutely gorgeous story. Now also, you know that I announced recently the winner to the sunshine, the word sunshine, which was in the Whips and Bits volume 10 video. Now our winner for that was Silver Fox Loves Yarn. So we've been having a bit of an email backwards and forwards so I can get to know the sort of things that she would like. Now she has a box going out as well. That will hopefully be with her early next week, but it's a surprise box, so I'm gonna have to be really evil to you all. I have recorded a video showing you all what's in the box, but of course I won't be showing that until I know it's arrived because I don't want to spoil the fun. Right, so now we've got a couple of photos coming up. Now the first one is from Sabrina. Her link will be included down below. She has used the crocheted cupcake square to make a bag. Have a look. I was in shock when I saw that. I wasn't expecting a drawstring bag. I was expecting like a market style bag, sort of two squares stuck together and a couple of armholey bits. But I am loving the choices of the yarn, and especially the creativeness with the stitches on the back panel that she's done. It's absolutely gorgeous. Might have to ask her for the pattern changes so that I can make something myself. On to my next little bit. Thank you very much, Madonna Ballard, for announcing my sunshine winner on your episode of YGN number 9. I've put the link to that down below. And finally, this is a cheeky screen grab. Well, the photo it was used as in the tester card, so it can't be that naughty, can it? I'll let you decide. So thank you for that, Charlie. Now Charlie is Christmas on Crestline. He is one of our lad fairies. I love him to bits. I think he's brilliant. He's proper perky. He's going to tell me off for that. Maybe not. Because he lets me get away with being a bit cheeky on his lives. Even when I make absolutely no sense at all. He just goes, all right, girl, try again. So thank you very much, Charlie. That was absolutely brilliant. Now I'm going to put a link into Charlie's channel down below. It's going to be one of his latest videos that's gone up. I believe he's doing an unboxing. So be warned, there may be bright flashing lights. What am I talking about? Might be flashing lights? That's just off. There's bound to be flashing lights. It's a Christmas flashy house. Right, just to give you a heads up, the parcel did arrive from Brownell. She got me lots and lots of bits, but this one here is a little Owlette, and Owlette is a rubber who actually sits by the side of the camera that I use to video, and that's actually Owlette is the one I'm actually talking to when I'm recording. So if you're always wondering how I manage to make it look like I'm looking at the camera, I'm not. I'm actually looking at Owlette. Confession. Oops. And then of course I went on to chat about Charlie at Christmas on Crestline. I'd still pop in and see Charlie from time to time. This week, or last week I should say, he was showing us all how to hang lights on our roofs of our properties. And last week he was doing trees. I've got no trees and there ain't no way I'm going up on my roof, Charlie. No chance. But I will pop a link to Charlie's Christmas at Crestline in the description box below, and I might manage to make it up here as well. Right, our next video up is what's in the box Sunshine Winners. And now, as you may remember from a few moments ago, I was telling you how it was a surprise of what was in the box that was going out. And so here is the video showing you what I actually sent her. Hope you enjoy it. Right, so today I'm just popping on to show you what the winner of my last competition, not the fairy one, the one before that, what they've actually won. I was really lucky, and so is she, because she's in the UK, so it meant I got to fill a box. Yay! Well, a bit more than what I would have been able to send if I'd sent it over to the US or other countries at the moment. And so I've recorded this before I send it, and I won't be posting it until she's received it, because I don't want to spoil the surprise, because she's asked for a surprise box. So in her surprise box I've put yarns in that I'm hoping she'll really like. Now, I did have a nose through all of my comments on my videos, like my wool stash videos. I managed to type her name in and it popped up with all her comments, so that's absolutely brilliant. It's going to help me out quite a bit. And in her comments she'd mentioned that she likes the yarn that I used to make this scarf, which is a not quite completed scarf that Courtney from Fibre Fox Studios put up. So, as quite a lot of the things she's planning that she's planning to make later on in the year is not for her, the first item I put in was enough of that wool, of that yarn to make that scarf, and a bit more, to be honest, just to give you just in case. Now, the thing with this is I bought it back from Australia, so I don't know the wool mix or the wool brand, because it was in the Milan bag, but it was the first time I'd ever come across them, so I was super excited to get them. But as I said, so I can only tell you that it is an unknown Australian 3-ply. That's about as far as I've got so far at trying to identify it. But if I do find out what it is, because maybe one of you go, oh yes, I know that one. If you do, pop it in the comments and then I can pass it over and write it on the ball that I've got left. Right. So that was number one. Now, while we were chatting over email, she has said that she likes to work with cotton, or that she has worked with cotton, and there's a baby coming into the family, so I have grabbed some cotton. There's 3 of these, which is the Lelena Gala. Okay, now this one again I bought on holiday when I was in Portugal. That sounds about right. And there is 3 of those, so that will hopefully make an absolutely wicked baby dress. There should be plenty there to make dress and other bits and pieces, but if there wasn't, and there's only enough for a dress, then I have also added in a Woolcraft with Love. Oh, that's this one here. Now the reason I've done that is because back in the day, now this is not one of my patterns, this is a creation by somebody else, and I will try and remember who it is before and put a link in for you all. But back in the day I made this little jumper. Okay, so it's really simple double crochet, and it's just got it's got the bobble stitches. So I made this little jumper. I'm going to hold that there for a second, with a little matching hat. And I got carried away because, like, you never know how big the kid's head's going to be. So there's 2 sizes. So I made all of that with less than one of them. So I added that in because I thought that would look really, really cute over the top of a little pink dress, with a little pair of white leggings and a little pair of booties. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Then, oops, don't put that in there, that's been made. Right, now on top of that, you can't really give away stuff to make a dress if you haven't added in a couple of other bits. So also in the bag there are some little made, oh, is it going to focus? No, probably not. It says handmade with love, and there's a few of those, and there's also the little buttons that I used on that jumper. You've got 10 of those pearly buttons as well. And then if you're, and this is a gift, you need a gift tag or 5, so they're in there as well. Oop. And as you're making things for other people as well, I've also put in 5 little leather made by hand as well. So I'll make this stuff pop again, especially if it's Christmas presents. You do that and people go, oh my word. Now we can never have too many of these, so you've got a pack of stitch markers, and as I'm crazy and I'm the poppy lady, you're getting a poppy kit as well, so there's enough in there to make at least 1 poppy, and you've got 1 poppy brooch. Now this is an Aldi yarn, which is the red and the black, and the green is somebody else, but they're the colours I use, just on the off chance that you haven't had your hands on an Aldi wool. It means you can make something with it and decide whether you do or don't like the DK weight, or whether you do or don't like the feel of it. That way you're not going to waste any money if you don't. Right, so that is what is going in the box. So I really hope you like it. Right, so I know she's received it because she's either sent me an email or she's popped a little message on here or the Facebook group. So now I know I'm safe to post this. Right, I'm going to head off or add this to another video. You never know. Laters. And the secret Australian yarn is Mariner's Smooth Touch Cotton Look DK. It's 100 grams and it's in the variegated colour range. I can't get a picture because they've only got the plain in stock at the moment. Awkward so-and-sos. Oh, pants, I've gone and done it again. I'm so sorry, gang. 47 minutes is all I can get it down to. I could have cut off another video, but by doing that it mucks up the sequence. I'm going to leg it now and go and hide from you all. I will see you all really soon. Big hugs, everybody. Please remember, stay in, stay safe. Ta-ra for now.